Hi, Scott here. Hope you're well. Right, we've got quite a lot to get through today. So I'll get straight into the charts. Hope everything's going well with you. And there are a few setups that are looking pretty promising. Do my usual. Share the screen, turn my video off. And we'll go through my watch list. Starting at the top with Aussie dollar. Right, higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily. Seem to be stalling at this level. Did break through briefly on Friday, then pulled back on Monday. So maybe we're going to pull back. Looking at I like using the MACD and the RSI to give an idea of trend reversals, indication that maybe they're on the cards coming up soon. So we have no MACD diversion here. MACD is okay. The RSI is very oversold, so it could be looking to go up. This is why we look at the lower time frames for confirmation. Now, on the hourly chart here, we have a kind of double bottom. I like double bottoms. Good indication that this is the bottom of a trend and it's about to reverse to some degree. We've had a break of the 1 hour 50 again, and it's starting to pull back where it was. Now it's pulling up again. But it's hanging around here. So if it does pull up, pull back to the 1 hour 50, this red line. Let's zoom in to the 1 hour. All right, so going a fib from these lows to the highs of this run, and the 382 lines up pretty well with the 1 hour 50. So if it comes back in the next few hours, that could be a good entry for a long IBO. It's an IBO, initial breakout of the 1 hour 50. So I also have on here my 4 hour 50 as well, because I like to see that so I know on the same view, the same chart layout, I can see where the potential resistance is going to be. Because in this case, we'd expect to hit resistance at the 4 hour 50 and either stall there and come back or stall there and break through. Sometimes it will just plow straight through it, but it's always good to know it's there. Right, so what do we have then? We only have 1% up to the 4 hour 50, which is okay. Just means that you'll be wanting to trade through it because a 1-to-1 on IBO is not really a profitable edge unless you have a very high strike rate, which is unlikely. You could also take this as a pip snatcher. You notice the pivot here and the resistance here. Also, they'll line up perfectly with our 382 and our 0.75. So we could do a pip snatcher, and again that 1-to-1 just before the 4 hour 50 is okay. So it's a good pip snatcher. If you're taking it as an IBO, you might well want to push a bit further up towards the daily 20 and use trade management to capture your profits. So that's one that's looking pretty good. Probably I'll say very good as a pip snatcher. Right, CAD-Yen. Excuse me. Right, onto the daily. We have kind of consolidation for the last few weeks and a very bullish candle yesterday, which is indicating we've got going to have some bullish pressure today, and we've got to move up here to these highs, so there's room to go long. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. Very bullish run. It's a bit exaggerated with that. Let's pull it down a bit. Still a very strong run. So this is looking like it could be a good little pip snatcher. And trend line, only 2 touches, but the trend line is roughly in line with the 1 hour 50, so that looks good as well. So pip snatcher, quick 1-to-1 before highs, stop just below this S1. 1 hour 50 is a bit behind. So if it does come down here, it might wick, come down to the 1 hour 50, reject it and the trend line, and then go long. Now, when it has this kind of curvy pattern like this, it's extended, it gives me a warning sign. It's accelerated away from the 1 hour 50, and then it's kind of drifting around like a little like a little, like when you throw a ball in the air, goes up really fast, slows down, stops before it comes down. That's looking to me like it's the uptrend is losing its momentum, if you like. Do we have any proof? The proof that I like to use, the MACD and the RSI down here. The MACD, do we have a higher high? Yes, we do. Is it significantly higher? Maybe not. This is significantly higher on the price action. It's a bit higher on the MACD. So maybe there's a bit of a divergence there, but nothing obvious. I also like to look at drawing trend lines from these lows below the MACD. And if it crosses that trend line before it sets up, then that to me is a warning as well. But it looks like it's going to be okay. It's hard to know when we have to wait till it pulls back. Check this, if it's down here somewhere and it's significantly broken the trend line, this trend line, then that's a big warning sign. And I do a similar thing on the RSI as well. We do an RSI from these lows, trend line from these lows, sorry, on the RSI. And again, if it drops down below that before we get our entry, then that's a warning sign. But it looks okay at this stage. So maybe this is a great looking pip snatcher. I can't argue with the technicals. So that's looking pretty good. Go with that one. Swiss yen, what does that give us? Probably something quite similar. They're often quite similar, these two pairs. Again, bullish day yesterday. A little bit of room to these highs, so we've got room there for something on the. I'm looking on the 1 hour. We've got a very similar price pattern, the trend line. We had a few more touches, so maybe that's a bit stronger. Accelerated away from the 1 hour, kind of curving over, but potential pip snatcher. Do we have any warning signs on our MACDs? We have a higher high, so no divergence there. We have a trend lines underneath, it seems to be okay. And a similar thing on the RSI. So as the last one, looks like a good possible pip snatcher. Although my eyes are telling me this is losing momentum, my eyes are saying something else, but technicals agree. It looks okay. So Euro-CAD, kind of intuition you get after looking at charts for so long. You can kind of tell things that sometimes indicators just won't tell you. All right, Euro-CAD. Euro-CAD? Yeah, Euro-CAD. Okay. Euro-CAD, it's in a bullish uptrend. It's not particularly strong, but it's trending up. And we're hitting these highs, got a bit of room to this level here, these old highs as well. Maybe there's room to the upside. We have a trend line that's quite strong. So again, the pip snatcher seems to be a reasonable option. Now let's try and pick it apart and find reasons why not to have it as a pip snatcher. Remember, pip snatchers only 1-to-1, so you need a very high strike rate. You need to have a very good win to lose ratio, way over 50%. Okay, what do we have? On the MACD, higher high, higher high, lower high, lower high. Nothing really there. We did a trend line underneath, we can see quite clearly it's way below, it looks okay. RSI, did a trend line underneath there. Again, we can see it's probably going to be okay, probably. But the trend, it's an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Oh, lower high. We've now got potential trend change. We're getting higher lows, we've got a lower high. So that for me is just a red flag and say, no, I wouldn't do that one just for that one reason. Okay, let's move on. Euro yen. Euro yen, again, a very bullish day yesterday. Broken out of this level here, which has been reasonably strong for a while. We're broken clearly free of that. Expecting some kind of bullish momentum to continue. Do we have any oversold? Oh, it's almost in the oversold territory. It's just touching this red line here, so a little bit of caution. MACD, well, we are getting lower. Look at the MACD here to here. Just drawing it out of the way. There we go. So from here to here, it is lower. Although the trend hasn't actually finished yet. So we get a reversal, we won't know exactly whether that MACD, it might still keep driving higher. But there's a few warnings there, right? Almost oversold and a potential MACD divergence. So what does the 1 hour give us? Very strong uptrend. Again, very bullish run yesterday, rolling over. Pip Snatcher lines up. Pip Snatcher is really the only strategy we have to jump on a trend that is well in motion. We've had the IBO and the CBO, and now until we get a reversal, the only strategy we really have is the Pip Snatcher. So it looks good, right? We've got a Pip Snatcher there. So yeah, we've got 1-to-1 here, entering around this pivot, and take profit just before the highs. It's quite a way behind. The 1 hour 50 is quite low. We really want to have that tested before we jump in the Pip Snatcher. We'll make an entry. So we have to wait for that 1 hour 50 to catch up. That could take another probably 6 to 8 hours. Then a wick down through the trend line and pull back up, possibly. Now let's try and pick it apart. First thing I notice, this trend line here, this lower trend line we had from a while ago, was following the 1 hour 50. Now it's accelerated up. And the 1 hour 50 is trying to catch up. That's a bit of a warning that we've had this acceleration. Acceleration, like a blow off, eventually it will just reverse. It's one little warning. MACD, we still have a higher high on the MACD, so that's okay. And we did the trend line underneath. So it's probably going to be okay as well. There's a fair bit of room for the pullback. RSI trend line underneath here as well will probably be okay. Obviously do these all properly. So when you do come to an entry presents, check these things. Just be comfortable that you're happy with how the setup is looking at the time of the entry. So that looks okay. I can't really find any reason to not like this one, apart from the fact that 1 hour 50 is quite a way behind. And that's going to have to do a fair bit of catching up. So that's possible. Euro dollar. What do we have here? So it's a bit squished, but we do see uptrend reversing off this trend line, and we would expect that to be some kind of resistance again, because it's been rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times very strongly. MACD is showing some kind of, it's from here to here is a very strong MACD divergence. It's looking like it's getting a bit long in the legs, long in the tooth, whatever the expression is. But we do have room up here to the day 50 and the trend line. So let's go to our 1 hour. Here we can see a trend line in here, maybe from here, up here somewhere. Or maybe the trend line is actually here, through there, and through there. Maybe that's a better trend line. But it's accelerated away from that. Now, what do we have? We have it's a bit messy, right? We have a break and a retest. A break of the 1 hour 50 and the 4 hour 50 here. Pull back, and it's broken to the downside, and it's been going sideways. So we could use a bit of discretion to say this is another breakout. I mean, we could say it's a CBO. Now we've broken the 4 hour 50 and the 1 hour 50. We can have a CBO. CBOs are good because they give you a tighter stop. Stop behind the 618. As long as the 4 hour 50 is safely within that area, which it will be. It's like it's pulling up. 4 hour 50 will be about here somewhere. So I'll stop about here behind the 618. Give us a CBO, maybe turning up to the daily 50. So pull back here to 382, which is around where the daily 20 is, this red line. Daily 50 is this green line. So price action pulling back to 1 hour 50 will catch up to the 382 of our fib. The fib I've done from this low here up to the highs. So we can do that because we have a clear, this is the run that broke through the 4 hour 50. You could even use this one perhaps, but I think it's probably, you could say it's consolidation. Consolidation is it tries to break through, then bang, it goes, it breaks the 4 hour 50. So I've done the fib from these lows here, below this candle, and up to the highs. That lines up quite well with the 1 hour 50 catching up in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. That could be a great entry with 4 hour 50 sitting just above the 618. So that's looking quite good. I like that one. And Jen. Again, a very bullish day yesterday. Whoops, that one will just come that down a little bit. So bullish day yesterday, maybe that will continue. Elliott wave we could put in here, wave 1, 2, this is the start of, well, halfway through wave 3. This wave 1's a bit big. I'm not convinced about that. Onto the 1 hour chart, so what do we have here in the way of a long trade? We've obviously got a big, strong uptrend here. Higher highs and higher lows, pretty strong. And that gives us a chance for a pip snatcher. This pivot, below the highs, stop loss below this S1. 1 hour 50 is a bit far behind. You need a bit of time for that to catch up. So again, let's try and pick it apart. What do we have? MACD. Okay, these highs, this is much higher, this is a much lower low. MACD divergence, very large. I wouldn't take this trade for that reason. The other things seem to be okay, but I would not want to take this. This is a pip snatcher for that MACD divergence. It's implying it's probably going to come down here, test, maybe go up here somewhere, and then trade down. So that's no trade. I thought it was worth pointing that out because you need to know, it's good to learn things that to look for to put you off a trade. Sometimes you just have to say no. Pound USD, pound dollar, strong uptrend. This is on the hour, sorry. Start the daily. Kind of run up to the daily 50, pull back, running up there again. What's it doing now? It looks like there's a bit of room to the daily 50 and this support or resistance level. All right, convincing. What does the 1 hour give us? 1 hour gives us a pip snatcher as well. It looks quite nice. We've had the CBO here, so we can't have a CBO again. We've had the ACBB, which is also this trading off of the 1 hour 50. I think that'd be a CBO. That'd be a CBO. And it's run up. So we could jump on a pip snatcher up to these highs. Two things against this. One of them is the daily 50 has pretty much been reached. That could well have been the target by most traders, in which case, if it pulls back, is it going to go higher again? Who knows? What else can we say about it? Elliott wave. Let's do Elliott wave. Wave 1, wave 2, pull back. Wave 3, the big one up here to break through the 4 hour 50. Wave 4, pull back. Wave 5, complete. So the chance of this pip snatcher playing out again are smaller. Oops. Look at the MACD. And the final thing, the final nail on the coffin for this trade is this higher high here and a much lower high on the MACD. That's a definite no-no. That one. All right, dollar CAD. We've had a run up to this level, it's been stalling at, and we had a bearish day yesterday. So it's looking like bearish pressure to continue down to the daily 20 at least. And on the MACD, on the daily, we've got a higher high and we've got a lower high. Zoom in a bit, we can see that's definitely that high to that high much lower. So that's saying MACD divergence on the daily, which is indicating lower prices. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right, let's zoom out a little bit, it's a bit too much. So we've had all these, whatever trend lines we've had in the past. We can clearly see that we are moving into a downtrend. Why? This high from here to here and here, we have a higher high, and then we move to a lower high, and this is a lower low. And we've got a lower low, or maybe, is that a double bottom? Yes, okay. There's a warning sign. This level here seems to be reasonably strong. Touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. Right, so we've got to be aware of this support resistance line here. This is pretty strong support. You can trade through it if you're an aggressive trader, and I would. Just I would make sure we have 1% profit before reaching this level, so we can then bring a stop loss to break even and therefore protect our capital. Should it reverse off this level and pull back, worst case would be a break even trade. There's always another trade. So, and of course, if it just bursts straight through and doesn't care, then you still get a good trade out of it. Right, so that's all the good things about it. The setup for from the fib, from these high to these lows, and 382 lines up pretty well with 1 hour 50. You may even find that this will go a little bit lower, in which case we can ignore this level, which is put in. Go a bit lower, 1 hour 50, 382, and the 4 hour 50 much closer. See how that plays out. Stop behind the 318. Sorry, the 618. Just made up a new level, the 318. So 618 here, but up, stop behind that. Take profit down the daily 20. There's 2% on offer there. So that's quite a nice looking trade. Just be wary of that trend line. Support resistance line. Dollar Swiss. Again, bearish day yesterday. That's with the dollar. It's a common theme here in the last two trades. There's no MACD divergence though, we can see on the daily. There was here, but this last run up, no MACD divergence. But lots of bearish pressure yesterday, so that could probably be coming down to the day 20. Higher highs and higher lows. Well, we've got higher highs all up to here. So this one here is a lower low. This is a higher low, a higher high. From the closes, it's a higher high, but from the wicks, it's a lower high. Questionable. But we do now clearly have a lower low, and this, you could even say this here was a lower high as well, perhaps. So it looks like we've got a trend change. Not quite as clear as dollar CAD, but similar. The 4 hour 50 is a little bit higher in this case. We haven't actually broken through it cleanly yet. We've just been toying with it. If it pulls back now, or in the next few hours, that's pretty good. We've just got the 382 from this run with the 1 hour 50 and the pivots here as well. So this will be an IBOC because it's only an IBO because we've only broken the 1 hour 50 cleanly. The 4 hour 50 is still, it's been tested, but it's not really cleanly broken. So an IBOC to stop the goes behind the 0.75. Take profit down here, the daily 20. And that's if it pulls back from here. We still have many hours left in dollar Swiss, probably another 6 hours plus, so it may even pull down a bit further. I doubt it will become a CBO in that time. You really need another 12 hours for CBO. So it's an IBOC, pulls back here, that's how it will stay. If it does create a CBO, and this 1 hour 50 catches up, play it by ear, maybe it pulls down here, maybe the entry will be down here somewhere. And if it is a CBO, then we can pull the stop behind the 618. So CBO will be a break and retest of the 4 hour 50 and the 382 with the 1 hour 50 before the 618. So see how that plays out. It's definitely a potential trade for later today or maybe tomorrow. So looking forward to what we have setting up. Aussie CAD, I'll quickly go through these. Looks like we're stalling this level and we want a trend change. We have no confirmed trend change yet. Maybe we've got a lower high net, a higher low, going the right way. But when we do get a confirmed break of the 1 hour 50 and a pullback, that could be a nice little IBO. Aussie Kiwi. Again, seems to be stalling here, but it's just breaking through the daily 50, so maybe it's going to pull back, retest it before continuing lower, or maybe this is the end of this pullback. Look at the weekly, big pullback to the weekly 20, and maybe it'll just continue its uptrend. So if you do get a confirmation of a trend change, a break of the 1 hour 50 pullback, that give us a long trade up to the 4 hour 50 and the daily 50. So that could be one looking later. Euro Aussie seems to be stalling this level. We had a bullish day on Friday. We're stalling Thursday, bullish day on Friday, stalling yesterday. We're in the overbought territory, so we're above the red line on the RSI. There's no MACD. This is a very strong run. But we are looking overbought. We need to confirm trend change. We've got a lower high now. Well, almost. When this continues down, that will be confirmed as a lower high. We need a lower low, break of the 1 hour 50 pullback, and a short trade going on there. Euro Kiwi, probably not too dissimilar. Stalling at this level, very sharp trend, but stalling here for the last almost 2 weeks now, I'd say. And it's looking pretty messy on the 1 hour, but we're looking for it to prove itself as a trend change. And we haven't really had that yet, so we need break of the 1 hour 50 and a pullback probably isn't enough, not for me. Break these lows, get lower lows, get a lower low down here, break that low, pull back to the 4 hour 50, pretty nice CBO short. And Aussie. Stalling this level again with yesterday's candle. And this trend line here goes back forever. Look at the monthly chart, we can see it goes back to 2013. And it's been respected here, all through 2017, up here as well. And it's been respected yesterday. Quite amazing how one trend line so far back can be that strong. But it seems to be respecting it. So is there going to be a trend change? Are we overbought? Yes, we're overbought. RSI showing overbought territory. No MACD, nothing on that one. So we're thinking it's going to stall and reverse, but we need proof. We need the lower high, lower low. We need to break the 1 hour 50 and pull back, and then we can take a trade short. That looks like a possible CAD. Breaking up. Looks like it's stalling this level. We've had two bearish stroke stalling days. We need proof. Again, 1 hour 50 has been holding pretty strong. Looking at the MACD, massive divergence there on the 1 hour MACD. And break the 1 hour 50, that could give us a short trade down there. Down Swiss on the daily. Stalling, maybe it's retesting the daily 50 and going to go long again. What does the hourly chart give us? Could do. It could go long. seems to be losing momentum. And MACD, huge MACD divergence. That's a good warning sign of the trend stopping and reversing, at least for a short while. So a break of the 1 hour 50, pull back, will give us a nice little trade short. Kiwi, and storming again this level, reversal looking candles yesterday. Looking for a short day today. You have a MACD, yeah, we have a huge MACD divergence, that's good. We're now testing the 1 hour 50 and it looks like we're breaking through it. And the trend line there looks pretty good. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and even tested it there and reversed, and then you broke through it on this hour. So 2 hour candles below that, that's looking like the trend is about to reverse. You proof the 1 hour, pull back on the 1 hour 50, pull back, break away, pull back, and that can be a nice little short trade later today. Dollar yen. Last one we look at. This has been on the radar for quite a while. It just keeps going up. And after Friday's run up, yesterday's seems to be decelerating. Nothing is proven. We have trend lines galore. We have a trend line there. Still one up here somewhere. Maybe there's a trend line there. That seems to line up well. Pip snatcher, possible. 1 hour 50 is too far behind, so never going to be a pip snatcher. And looking at these last two highs on the MACD, you can see here massive divergence, massive. So that's indicating that we are going to go short soon. When it does, when people start selling up here, it's going to break down pretty quick, I'd say. Break through this trend line, break to the 1 hour 50, pull back to the 1 hour 50, give us a short trade. And it'll be a nice one because what's going to stop this going short? We've got a trend line. Is that really a trend line? Yeah, it kind of is. Isn't that wick there, and starting from down here. It's trend line there, the 4 hour 50 is right back here. So in theory, we could be having a potential short trade of just eyeballing it. Something like that. I'll say 2%. I think maybe it's more than that. Anyway, there's a good nice looking trade there that we could get. Okay, good. Whew, that's a lot of stuff going on there. Is my video working? Yes, good. Okay, so there, lots to look at. I thought I'd do a bit of a deep dive into that stuff so that we can see reasons why not to take trades as well as reasons to take them. And I hope you found that useful. Good luck in the markets today. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.